printed the first value in the tuple 1, that is PMW, and then OD. So we have created a tuple and stored three items in that, and then we have created a variable and used the iterator function and passed the tuple in that. And after that, we have created a print statement, and inside we have passed myTup variable inside the next function. So it has printed the value BMW then OD. And if we print this value again and save this and run this, you could see all the three values that are stored in the tuple, they have been printed. So we have seen the iterator, Python iterator. Now moving on to the next topic, that is Python modules. So a module, a Python module is same as a code library. That is a file containing a set of functions that you want to include in your applications. So we have some modules that are repeat, यहाँ से कट होगा जो पहले वाला था ना थोड़ा. So we have some modules that have already been defined, that is pandas, matplotlib, and beautiful soup and math module. So there are so many modules that have been defined, and you can also create a module of your own and you can import it into another program. So you just have to save the file with the extension .py, and you can use that file into another file just using the word import, using the word import statement, or import then the name of the file that you have created with the py extension. So here you would see a module that have been created earlier, and that module would be math. So first we'll import that module, that is import math, that is the built-in module, and it has named as math, which will extend the list of mathematical functions in the Python. And to use it, we have used the import keyword, and after that we have written the name of the module. And when you have imported the math module, you can start using methods and constants of the module, that is math. So first we'll start with the square root method. For that, we'll create a variable and inside write math dot sqrt, and inside we'll pass 91, and then we'll print the variable. We'll save this. Oh, yeah, print. So we'll save this and run it. So you could see that the square root of 91 is 9.5393920, and it goes on. So this is one of the methods that is stored in the math module, and we have other methods also. Now we'll see another method, that is ceiling, and ceiling method rounds a number upwards to its nearest integer. And there's another method, that is floor, that rounds a number downwards to its nearest integer and returns the result. So for that, you'll write a variable x equal to, and to use these functions, we will write math dot ceil function, and we'll write the value 5.4, and in another variable, that is y equal to, we'll use the math module, and here we'll use the method floor, and inside we'll pass 5.4 only, and then we will print both these variables, that is print x and print y. Now we'll save this and run the program. You could see that it has returned the value as 6, that it returns the value that is upwards to its nearest integer, that is Above the 5.4, that is 5, that is integer 5 and integer 6, we have the value 5.4 in between, and the upward value which corresponds to 5.4 is 6. So it has returned the value 6, and with the floor function, it would return the value that is downward to 5.4, that is 5. Try giving a shot to Simply Learn's postgraduate program in AI and machine learning in collaboration with IBM. The course link is mentioned in the description box below that will navigate you to the course page where you can find a complete overview of the program being offered.
So let's start with lists in Python. Imagine you have different values. You have numbers, you have strings. Now, if you want to group them together, you can do this job in Python with the help of lists. Or you have worked with arrays in any other language like C++ or Java. This is the similar stuff in here, which is list. A list can be defined as a collection of objects, values, or items of different types, and these collections are enclosed within the square brackets and are separated by commas. Let's understand this with the help of an example. We will create a list and name it as list1 and insert the elements in square brackets and separate them with the help of commas. List1 equal to square brackets 1, comma, Adam, comma, 107, comma, USA. And in lists, we have our first element at 0th index, and we have 1 at 0 index, Adam at 1 index, 107 at 2nd index, USA at 3rd index. And talking about the reverse index, it starts with -1 index value. We have USA at -1 index value, 107 at -2 index value, Adam at -3 index value, and 1 at -4 index value. We will explore the list with various examples in Jupyter Notebook in a while. Till then, let's look at the characteristics of lists. First, the lists are ordered. When we say that lists are ordered, it means that the items have a defined order, and that order will not change. If you add new items to a list, the new items will be placed at the end of the list. Second, elements of the list can be accessed by index values. Third, lists can store various types of elements, for example numbers, strings, or lists itself. Fourth, lists are mutable. The list is changeable, meaning that we can change, add, and remove items in a list after it has been created. Lists allow duplicate elements. Since lists are indexed, lists can have items with the same value. Let's have a look at some methods of lists in Python. The first one is append. It adds an element at the end of the list. For syntax, we can write list1 dot append, and in round brackets we have to write the element which we want to append. The next is insert. It adds an element at the specified position. Its syntax is name of the list dot insert, and in round brackets we will write the index at which we want to insert the element and comma, and after that the element which we want to insert. Third is extend. It adds the element of a list to the end of the current list. Its syntax is list1 dot extend, and in round brackets we will add the element like list2 which we want to extend in the list. The next is index. It returns the index of the first element with the specified value. And its syntax is list1 dot index and the element which we want to fetch the index. The next is remove. It removes the item with the specified value. Its syntax is list1 dot remove, and in round brackets we write the element which we want to remove from the list. The next is sort. This method is used to sort the list. Its syntax is list1 dot sort. The next is reverse. It reverses the order of the list. Its syntax is list1 dot reverse. Let's move to Jupyter Notebook to explore these methods. Let's start with creating a list. We'll name the list as list1, and we'll create equal to, and we'll start with square brackets, and we'll write our first element, that would be apple, comma, space, next element orange, comma, space, the next element banana, comma, space, the next element kiwi. Now we will get this list printed. For that we will write the syntax print and in round brackets we'll write the list name, that would be list1, and run the command. You can see here that the list is printed. Now let's create a different list with some different elements. List2 equal to, and in square brackets we'll write apple. Now we will insert a list in a list. For that we will write a list in square brackets 8, 4, 6 and comma the next element, that will write orange, the next element banana, now we'll print this list. To print this we'll write print, round brackets we'll write list2 and run the command. Here we will get the list 2 printed. We can access any element in the list. So for that we'll write the syntax print. We want to access the second element, that will be the third element from the list 1. For that we'll write the syntax print list1 and in square brackets we'll write the index 2 and run the command. We will get the third element from the list 1, that is banana. Now we will access an element from the list 2. For that we'll write the command print list2 and in square bracket we will write 1 and in square bracket we'll write 2 and run the command. What we get is 6. So to access an element from a list that is already inserted in a list, we have to write this syntax. So this syntax tells us that we will first access the first index element, that is 846 the list, and in that we will access the second index value, that would be 0, 1 and 2, that is 6. So this is the syntax to access an element in a list that is already inserted in a list. Now we will see a reverse index order. For that we will write the command print list1 and in square brackets we will write the index -1 and we'll run this command and we get kiwi as output. Now we'll see slicing in Python. We can access a range of items in a list by using the slicing operator. Now we'll see an example to see the slicing operator work in Python. For that we will write the syntax print list1 and in square brackets we'll write 1 slicing operator 3 and run the command. What we see is orange and banana as an output from the list 1. When you write 1:3, that is 1 slicing operator 3, it gives you the elements at index 1, 2 and not 3. So we get the output as orange, banana. Now we will see another example for the slicing operator. We'll write print list1 and in square brackets we'll write 3 and slicing operator. Run the command. Here we can get only kiwi. When we write a single number before slicing operator, it would print the value at that index value and all the other elements that are present in the list. But in this list we have only kiwi as the last element, so it would print third index value and not more than that. Now we'll see append function. For that we'll write the syntax list1 dot append and in round brackets we will write the element which we want to insert at the last of the list. We will write guava and run it, and now we will print the list to see the result. Here we can see that guava is added at the last of the list. Now we'll see extend function. For that we'll write the index list1 dot extend and in round brackets we will write in square brackets the particular elements we want to insert in the list. So we will write watermelon and the next element we want to insert would be muskmelon. That would be in inverted commas. and we also want this list to be printed. So we'll write print list1 and execute this command. Here we can get watermelon and muskmelon added just after the list, just at the last elements of the list. Now if you want to delete a particular element from the list, you can delete it with the syntax del space the list name you want to delete the element, and in square brackets you will write the index for the element you want to delete. We have written the 5th index value, so we'll run this command and we'll get the list printed. We can see that the 5th index value, that is watermelon, is not there in list 1. It's been deleted. Now you can also do this with another method, that is remove. For that we'll write list1 dot remove, and in round brackets we'll write the particular element we want to remove. We'll write that is kiwi, and we also want the list to be printed, so we'll write print in round brackets list1 and run this command. We get that the kiwi is been removed from the list 1. Now there is another method, that is pop. We'll write that command print in round brackets, we'll write list1 dot pop, and we'll write the index value what we want to remove from the list, that is 1. And we also want the list to be printed, so for that we'll write the command print list1 and we'll run this command. Okay, we have not written the name of the list correctly, so now list1. Now so at the 1 index, that was orange, that has been removed from the list, and now this is the new list. Now we can see another method, that is clear, that removes all the elements from the list. So this we will apply on the list2 dot clear method, and we'll also write another command, that would be print list2 and execute this command. We can see that the list2 is empty now. All the elements from the list2 have been removed. Now we'll see another method, that is reverse. For that we'll write the command list1 dot reverse and round brackets, and we also want the list1 to be printed. For that we'll write the command print list1 and execute this command. Here we can see that the list1 is being reversed: muskmelon, guava, banana, apple. Now if you want a particular index element to be accessed, you can have the syntax. For that you can write that print list1 dot index, and in round brackets you just need to write the element for what you want to get the index, and just run this command. You will get the index of the element guava, that is 1. We have another method in list, that is count. So count is used to give the number of times the particular element is present in the list. So for that we'll write the syntax print and in round brackets we'll write the list name list1 dot count, and in round brackets we'll write the particular element for which we want to get the number of times that has been present in the list. We'll write muskmelon and run this command. It would give us the value 1 because it's been present in the list for only a single time. Now let's move to the tuples. So tuple is almost same as list. We can have different types of values in tuples. The difference in list is we can change value because list is mutable and tuple is immutable. That means you cannot change the value. A tuple can be defined as a collection of objects, values, or items of different types, and these collections are enclosed within the circle brackets and separated by commas. Let's understand this with the help of an example. We will create a tuple and name it as tup1 and insert the elements in round brackets and separate them with the help of commas. So tup1 equal to round brackets The first element is 1, comma, and the second element is Adam. Third element is 107 and the fourth element is USA. Now, in tuples, we have our first element at 0th index and we have 1 at 0 index and Adam at 1 index and 107 at second index and USA at third index. And for the reverse index, it starts with -1 index value. We have USA at -1 value, 107 at -2 index value, and Adam at -3 index value and 1 at -4 index value. We will explore the tuples with various examples in Jupyter Notebook. But till then, let's look at the characteristics of tuple. So the first is the tuples are ordered. When we say that tuples are ordered, it means that the items have a defined order and that order will not change. Elements of the tuples can be accessed by index. Tuple items are indexed. The first item has index 0, the second index has 1. Third, tuples can store various type of elements, that is, strings, arrays, and many other elements. The next is tuples are immutable. Tuples are unchangeable, meaning that we cannot change, add, or remove items after the tuple has been created. Next is tuples allow duplicate elements. Since tuples are indexed, they can have items with the same value. Let's have a look at some methods of tuples in Python. First, that is index. We can use the index operator to access an item in a tuple where the index starts from 0. Its syntax is the name of the tuple dot index and in round brackets we'll write the element for which we want to access the index. The second is slicing. We can access a range of items in a tuple by using the slicing operator. For that, we'll write the syntax tup1 and the range for which we want to slice the tuple. The third is concatenation. Here we will add two tuples, that is, we just have to write the name of the tuples to add them and we'll place the plus operator just between them. The next is repetition. We can have the same item multiple times in a tuple. For that, we will just have to write the syntax, the name of the tuple, and the multiplication operator into the times we want that value to be present in the tuple. The next is count. It returns the number of items a specified value occurs in a tuple. So for that, we have the syntax tup1.count and in round brackets we will just write the element for which we want to count the number of times that specified value has been occurred. We also have another method, that is index. It searches the tuple for a specified value and returns the position of that where it was found. Now let's move to Jupyter Notebook to explore these methods. So let's start. First we will comment, that would be tuples, and we will move to the next column, and first we'll create a tuple. For that we'll write the command tup1, that would be the name of the tuple, and in round brackets we'll insert the elements, that would be apple, comma, orange, comma, banana, comma, kiwi. Now we'll print this tuple. We'll just have to write print and in round brackets the name of the tuple and run the command. We'll get the tuple printed. Now, if you just want to insert a single element in a tuple, for that you will write the command tup2 equal to in round brackets you will write a single element, that would be apple, and run that command. The tuple is being created, but this tuple is not being considered as tuple in Python. It's been considered as string. So let's check the type of this tuple. For that we will write print type and in round brackets we'll write the name of the tuple we want to check. We'll run this command. Here we can see that it is showing a string. So a single element is been shown as string in Python. If you want that it should be tuple, for that you just have to insert a single comma in the tuple and now run this command. You will get this type as tuple. Now if you want to access any element in a tuple, for that you just have to write the command print tup1 and in square brackets the index value, that is 0, and here you quote the value apple, that is at 0th index value in tup1. Now we can also access the element in the reverse order. For that we'll write the command print tup1 and in square brackets we'll write the index value -1 and run the command. Here we can get the value kiwi from the reverse index order. Now we also have the slicing operator in tuples also. For that we'll write the command print tup1 in square brackets the index values where we'll run this command print tup1 index value 1 slicing operator 3. So it has printed orange and banana. So what does it means? It prints the index value 1 and 2 and not 3. We also have a repetition method in tuples. For that we just have to write a simple syntax like print in square brackets the element you want to repeat. We will write the element as repeat only, and comma to just consider as tuple, and just after the bracket we would have to write the multiply operator and the number of times the element should be repeated in the tuple. Now we'll run this command. You can see that the tuple has been created with the element repeat and the number of times is 3 that we have written just after the element. So the tuple has been created. Now we'll see the count method. For that we'll write the command print the name of the tuple dot count, and in round brackets we'll write the element for which we want to know the number of times it's been present in the tuple, and we'll execute the command. It gives us 0 as our tup1 doesn't consist guava as an element, so it gives us the count as 0. Now we'll see another method that would be index. For that we'll write the command print tup1 dot index, and in round brackets we'll write the element for which we want to fetch the index of that element, banana, and we'll run this command. We will get the index of the element banana, that is 2, 0, 1, 2. So we get the index of the element banana. Now if we want to use the append method in tuples, we have to first create the tuple into the list. For that we'll write the command y equal to list, and in round brackets we'll write the name of the tuple which we want to convert in the list. Now we'll use the append method to the list, that is y dot append, and we'll insert an element that would be guava, and now we would just assign the y list to a variable tup1. We have now converted the y list to the tuple with this syntax, that is tuple y, and we have assigned it to the tup1 value. Now we will print this tuple and execute the command. Here we can see that we have used the append method in the tuple. First we have changed the tuple to the list by this command y equal to list tup1. Then we have used the append method y dot append and appended the element guava. Then we have changed the y list to the tuple, that is tup1 equal to tuple the name of the list, and then we have printed the tuple. We can also add two tuples by another method. For that we will write another tuple, that would be tup3 equal to, we will insert an element that would be cherry, and now we want it to be added in tup1, so we'll write tup1 plus equal to tup3, and now we'll print the final tuple, that would be tup1, and run the command. Here we can see that we have added two tuples, that is tuple1 and tuple3, which consists of cherry, and here we get the whole tuple as tuple1. Now to execute loops in tuples, we'll write the command. For that we'll write the syntax for space a variable x in the name of the tuple colon, and then we will print the particular element one by one, and we'll run this command. Here we can see that all the elements have been printed from the tuple. Now let's understand dictionaries in Python. In lists, you can fetch the elements with the help of index numbers. But if you want to specify a different type of index for it, example, if you have a list of 8 values and you want to fetch the fifth one, you will use the index. But if you have key for each element, then you can use the key to access that element. Example, phone book. If you want to fetch a number, you will use a name and you get a number. And officially, if we talk about dictionary, if you want to understand the meaning of a word, you go to that page